Richest man in the world says he's taking a step back from his role in the Trump White House. Tesla CEO Elon Musk confirming the news to shareholders last night, saying his work with Doge will start winding down next month.
As people know, there's been some blowback for the time that I've been spending in government with the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge. Starting next month, I'll be allocating far more of my time to Tesla.
And that blowback he mentioned comes after a brutal first quarter earnings report for Tesla. Revenue dropped 9% versus last year. Profits fell a staggering 71% in the first quarter. Joining me now is Dan Ives, the global head of tech research at Wedbush Securities. Dan, you say yesterday's Tesla earnings call was a, quote, turning point in the company's story. Explain that.
I mean, look, this has been, we've thought it's been a horror show since he joined Trump administration. Because the reality is that the brand damage has been global. And we saw that in deliveries. We saw that in a disaster first quarter. And in our opinion, like, the clock struck midnight. Musk needed to choose and pivot. And for Musk, the way he handled that conference call, he pivoted. He picked Tesla. And I believe this is, regardless, he's at a 1 to 2 days away. This is the beginning of the end of his time with Trump administration. And
you say that this is great news for Tesla investors. Why is Elon Musk so important to this company?
Musk is Tesla, Tesla is Musk. I mean, you're talking about someone that is the hearts and lungs of Tesla, autonomous robotics in terms of disruptive technology, trying to now turn things around in China. It comes down to Musk. Leaders lead. And knowing and been around Tesla and Musk, you know, for decades, you know, going back from the beginning, Musk has been here before, back against the wall. This is the time for him to pick. He picked Tesla.
And you touched on this before, how much the Tesla brand had been damaged by Elon's support of Trump in his time in the White House. Even with him now choosing Tesla, as you put it, can he come back from that?
Look, I think he comes back. I mean, we think permanent brand damage is probably 10%. It could be higher. But the reality is that you got to contain it, and you got to turn the page in terms of the next chapter. And that's what Musk needs to do. This is a pivotal time in terms of autonomous robotics, the future, everything we see in China. Ironically, tariffs that actually hurt Tesla, you know, when you think about where they're positioned. But he needs to turn the page. That's what he did last night. Ends a dark chapter.
And given all of this, you are very optimistic about Tesla's future, despite some headwinds over the next year. What's the downside case for Tesla, and why don't you subscribe to it?
Yeah, look, I've never viewed Tesla as a car company. I've always viewed them as a disruptive technology player. Look, the upside is the autonomous and robotics future. I mean, I think that will be much more valuable than the car and the EV franchise today. The downside is that Musk talks the talk but doesn't walk the walk. It's 2 months from now, and he's still with Doge, he's still with Trump, he's in Mar-a-Lago. So that would probably be what I would call like the downside. But I believe last night that was authentic as I've ever heard Musk.
All right, we'll certainly see what happens. Dan Ives, our thanks to you for being with us.